Went up to Ojai to a place called the Pepper Tree Retreat.
Oh yeah.
And it's Krishnamurti's old haunt. So I met with the people there, went on the 3-hour tour of the property, and we're going to be doing a series there at his place. Going into his meditation room was, for me, just like hanging out with Carlos. It was right there. I have another thing to put up to say I will remember that for the rest of my life. It's a room that there's no talking allowed in it at all. No one's ever talked in it. It was built specifically as his meditation room. And then, so there's the meditation room, and you walk around the corner, and there's the desk he wrote all of his books from. So, and then when I walked in there, you know, there were 3 of us, and we walked in and looked out the window. I just walked straight over to the window, looked out, and there were these purple protrusions of energy just spiraling out of the ground, whipping around. And the whole room, you know, all 3 of us sat down, the whole room just vanished. It was gone. It was just energy. It was just the energetic reality. Back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth. So that was really, really stunning. And then, so I met with them to do lectures up there at his place. So I think we hit it off pretty well. So I'll be doing that second week of December. So we're going to Austin, Texas at the end of this month for 3 days.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
What's that one?
It's a place called Nia Space on South Congress, right in this downtown Austin.
Who's sponsored?
The guy that owns Nia Space. It's a giant building, and they have all kinds of things going on there. Yeah, I've never met him. His name's Gary, I think. But he had watched the videos. And then I have friends down there, right? And one of them trains in MMA, mixed martial arts. He trains kids. And his sensei was talking to him about, there's this dude on YouTube, you should check him out. Josh is like, who are you talking about? It's like this guy Chris Douglas. Oh, I know him. Yeah. One of those, you know, synchronistic events. So then I guess he ended up talking to this guy. This guy got a hold of that person, and so on and so forth. So that's where Jen and Maddie are right now.
Down there?
They're down there.
Nice.
Doing all the work in Austin. So from there, and then California, and then New York City.
You didn't tell me you're going to New York.
Well, it's not done yet. So I'm just putting in the cooker. I decided, Colorado Springs, I've been here for, this year for 4 years. And I love it. I do. I love the people that show up. I do. It's time to branch out a little bit. You know, in California, the reception is a little different. Here, it's very just religiously orientated to the point that it stifles a lot of people.
Yeah, it's very limited.
You know, religion as a law, not as a way to live. You know, that authoritative side of it, you. And I think, you know, and really here, there's just so much going on that people don't really have time for, which is really a shame, but that's okay. But I want to branch out. This is what I want to. Yeah, I've decided this is the only thing I'm cut out to do. That or a Walmart greeter, but I'm not old enough.
Oh boy. You want to know something about that? You have to be a veteran to be a Walmart.
Really?
You can't even be a Walmart greeter.
So I get
That
hired.
was my motto. I'm like, I can't even be a freaking Walmart greeter.
I've been telling people I wanted to get that job.
Gotta be a vet.
Why not?
Ohio?
I'm a disabled vet.
It's called the Pepper Tree Retreat.
Okay.
Very beautiful place.
You didn't know that?
Beautiful.
You're not gonna move, are you?
So you moving to California?
I have said that the first person that
Here's my
says,
federal
hey,
ID card.
I want you to take residence, I'm going to say yes.
See, that's my disabled vet card.
I can't not do that. You know, there's a certain point for me where this became so real that I stopped being able to decide anything. Right? I just feel the life force, not really pushing, it's more like a pole. And I'm just holding on and following it, and it leads to these shiny spots. And so I used to resist those. Out of, I need to decide, I have to weigh all this stuff out. And I've pretty much abandoned that. I've decided that financial security, whether I have it or not, is of no importance. Any kind of, career in the world, I'm not interested. What I'm interested in now is what I think is 10,000 years in the making. the return to the less juvenile state of being. Not that it's not fun, because it's very fun, but the less juvenile state. The one where we ignore what makes us shake. Right? To actually face that stuff once and for all. So that, and in doing that, I've noticed that, the world can distract you from that. It really can. It's actually designed to. Right? And the way that people interact is also kind of conditioned to be kind of one-dimensional. Right? It's only based in what we say to one another, and the conversations. How do they go when we meet somebody? It's, hi, what's your name? What do you do? Where do you live? Right? This factual. It's like a one-dimensional sheet. With all the accomplishments listed. It's like a resume. And a resume really only has one side, unless you have a lot of experience, then it probably has two sides. But it's two-dimensional at best. Right? So that really does not lend to any kind of deep introspection or any kind of acquiring a depth of energy that you can actually perceive what you're doing in the world. What you're here doing. Not what you're here to do, what your purpose is or anything like that. Just what you're doing while you're here. So for me, that's all that's important. I had written this down when I was a kid, that when one has seen and felt the presence of true love from within, then making that a part of their everyday reality is all they have left to do. There's nothing left. Because, I've gone skydiving. Boring. Everybody looks at me and goes, boring? What do you mean boring? That's exhilarating. Not really. No, it's throwing my body out of a plane. It's throwing your body out of a plane. I'm more exhilarated sitting in this chair.
That's because that's Jack's chair.
Jack? Who's Jack?
Sounds like a lead.
No, that's what I was just detecting, that you're feeling that chair. Yeah.
Remember those?
It's like a pilot seat.
I don't know.
It really is.
So in doing so, in going that route, it just became evident to me that just by and not me making a decision, but it just became evident where this is going. And then, so I just put it out there. This is where it seems to be going. And then out of nowhere, there's all these invitations. There's all these places calling. There's people who want to do it. There was a lady who showed up here. She came to one. Marsha was her name. She's down in Texas helping them. She was just blown away by that presence. That the presence of life itself, not mine. It's not mine. It's the presence of life itself. So there's been a lot of people jumping on board, even in California. So I figure, okay, well, if that's where the momentum is without an effort on my part, then that's what you do. Because the only place you could actually apply effort that's going to reap anything, right within here. All other effort brings you temporary stuff. This is the one that lasts. This is where what you do presently and getting into your heart and staying there and letting life live you, that's the spot. There's no mind in that, really. The mind is basically to be there to really just keep us from getting hit by a truck. Making sure we put our food in our mouth instead of our eye. Right? 2 + 2 is 4. So on and so forth. But to me, it's when that life force finally decided, it decided, not me, to show up here. The only effort I ever had to put out was in getting out of the way, which takes a monumental amount of effort to